Hello there, friends. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to Strangers in the Night, your source for late night VR gaming talk. I, of course, am your host, Wes, and with me, as always, is my good friend Roots. Roots, how you doing tonight, brother?
Good. I feel a little Captain Caveman mangy tonight, but other than that, my beard feels out of control. I'm good. Technical issues as always, but at least we figured out what was happening, and we're good to go. And yeah, it's a good night.
What better day to feel a little mangy than International Dog Day, right?
I know. I missed it. I didn't. You were just telling me. I guess I didn't miss it. You missed it. Or is it today? Is it? Because it's 1 a.m. for you. I mean, it just came across your feed, so it probably is tomorrow. I may not have missed. Oh my God, Wes, I feel. Oh, that's a big relief. Although it's not 100% true. I don't know for sure. Did we miss it? Somebody in the chat.
An extra bowl of kibble for Bolt tonight. It's your day, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe a toy. You wrap it. My mom used to wrap toys for my dog. My like my kids said, Uncle Georgie was their dog. Crazy. It's a dog.
I don't think we've ever seen our dog play with
What?
anything. Like he's we got him from a shelter. He was a grown dog when we got him, and he was obviously abused wherever he was before because he was super timid. He's still all these years later is still super timid, and he's lovable, but he's not playful. Like he's always just kind of subdued.
Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, you see some people like that. They've just had life has just beat the shit out of them, and they just can't find any joy in anything. Right there, it's not that they're not happy; they're just not excited about stuff. I say you gotta be excited.
Right.
So.
Yeah. You got to be excited to enjoy toys as an adult. And as I say that, he starts barking. Of course,
He's excited. He wants in the door. He wants in and out. Right? Isn't that his?
yeah, he
game?
wants it. Yeah, either in this one or out the front one. I don't know which. Hopefully, someone takes care of that so I don't have to stop. But yeah, man, a special Friday night edition of Strangers in the Night. And as I'm sure many of you already know, we postponed the show from Wednesday to Friday so that we could have Eric on to wrap up Gamescom for us. But wouldn't you
gone.
know it, Roots? Still no Eric. Eric had some flight delays, which is, to be honest, predictable. Kind of knew it at the time, but we thought we'd go ahead and give it a try, see if we could get him on Friday. But it didn't work out, and we had some options as to what we wanted to do, and we felt like postponing was not really the best of those options. So we're here, we're live. We're going to be talking about two awesome titles tonight, and then if everything goes to plan, Eric will be on with us Sunday for Virtual Strangers. Was it 164, 165,
I think
something like that?
I think it's 165, but don't quote me on that. Maybe 166. As far as we know, they're flying by. Yeah, that's crazy. Who would have thought? For some reason we were thinking it's 2018, and planes were gonna land and take off as normal. Hey, this is what your schedule says. This is when we're leaving. That's why I was just telling somebody the other day. It's one of the reasons why I'm reluctant to fly. I don't want to say I'm afraid. I'm not afraid to. It's just like there's so many unknowns, especially around am I going to get where I'm supposed to be and not have to sit in an airport for 18 hours, That's just crazy. It's just a weird time to travel.
Yeah, and he's constantly traveling. I don't think he'll be home still for another 2 weeks. He's meeting his family right now for a vacation. They're going to spend a week together, and then he's off to PAX West in Seattle, I think. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Germany's cool. PAX West is cool, but family time at Disney, that's the best time, man. I get to spend time with his wife and his kid. I think this is the best time, Mash. Absolutely.
For sure. And so yeah, those of you who want to get the Gamescom wrap up firsthand from Eric, they'll be on the air tomorrow. They're going to do an episode of Q2C VR Gamer Live in the middle of the afternoon tomorrow. So if you haven't already, be sure that you click the link below and subscribe. But he's going to be on with us on Sunday as we go through the headlines, many of which were from Gamescom or will be from Gamescom. and he's going to be able to give us a little insight, a little more than we typically would get just from reading news articles. So look forward to having Eric on then. But you know what, Roots? All that aside, we wouldn't be here right now doing this right now if we didn't have the goods, right? We've got the goods tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Both the games that we're talking about, phenomenal. And I can say that the first one we're going to talk about, I didn't want to stop playing. You know, like it just very good, amazing.
I think every session that I've had in Red Matter 2 has been the last hour of it has always been all right. One more thing. I'll take care of one more thing, and then I take care of that one more thing. Oh, we'll just make it through this little piece here. Then you get through that. Oh, we'll go a little bit more, and then eventually you're just out of time and you can't play anymore. And I can honestly say every time that I've stopped playing Red Matter 2, it's just because I can't play it anymore, including up until about 20 to 25 minutes ago. I was playing it. Like, it's just so phenomenal and so good. Can't wait to really get into that one here in just a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And kudos to Vertical Robot for, I mean, we'll go over all the things in this game that's amazing, but one thing that you just named without even naming it, that like every time I turned around, it was saving, and I loved it because I knew when I was not fucked. Like I'm like, okay, if I need to stop, I can stop right here. And like you said, I never did, but it was just nice to know. I really like the way they did that. So
Yeah, excellent. Although it's not perfect, and we'll get into that in a moment. But before we do any of that, let's talk and say hello to our friends in chat. Cheeto Wendy is here. Congrats, D, on your new graphics card. How's that coming along for you? Is it running okay? Got enough power in that power supply? Enough cooling in your tower? I'd be interested to know.
this is the thing, okay? Because she was researching before because she was going to put it in there, and she said, Roots, bad news. I can't use the video. Or she didn't even go into that much. She just linked it and said, nah, bad news. And it was for that a video card, a 2080 recommended was 650 power supply. She's got 600. I'm out. And so I'm driving down I-25 on the interstate, and I Google in 2 seconds. I found like 6 things of like, I've got a 2080 Ti. Is it okay to run it? And everyone's like, yeah, man, it'll be fine. You know, because he was like upgrading just that card from what his system was. And the recommended isn't always. I said, at least try it. You know what I mean? Like, this guy was running a 2080 Ti and a 9700K overclocked. It's not what she's running. I think 600 is perfect, you know, but you just never know.
Well, I'm only running like 7 or 750, and I've got a 3080,
Oh, yeah.
and it's a lot more power hungry than any 2080. So should be okay if you do get worried about it, because obviously these power supplies, they operate less efficiency once you get them past a certain load. You can always undervolt your graphics card in the settings software. You can always just pull that power limit back a little bit.
It's exactly,
and give yourself a little headroom.
Exactly what I told her, and that's probably what we'll do because just because it makes it run cooler as well, and ironically better. Like I don't understand how, like, I don't know, man. Undervolting is the king. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, well, if you're challenged in the cooling department, certainly, because heat that's what throttles graphics cards. They run until they get hot. So if you can keep them from getting hot, then the performance will be consistent. So makes sense.
Yep, absolutely.
What's up, Gabriel 004? Good to see you. Guido in the house. Guido off work. All right, hold on a second. My dog won't shut up. I apologize.
That's all right. I'll talk to the chat. Yeah, so she did join the VR. She played some. She said her arm was getting tired because she played the lab. She was playing the bow and arrow. I'll tell Wes in a second. Dee was saying that her arm was getting tired, Wes, because she went into the lab and she was playing the bow and arrow. I think she got to round 21. Oh, yeah? She said, yeah, she was in there for like an hour just in the lab, right? Already downloading After the Fall. Gonna get to see flashlights. Gets to see waterfalls in Zenith. I mean, these are big deals, like
Yeah.
big things. So,
Yeah, now you can start acting like you're better than everybody, D. That's what we do, right?
that's right. That's what PCVR is all about. We're
Yeah.
awesome.
PC gaming. That's what it's all about. Now we can tell everybody that their stuff sucks.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm telling her the mods, man, Risk of Rain 2, like even the simple ones, but like I've been into so many mods this last week. I got Elden Ring running amazing. Cyberpunk, like everything's running great.
Cyberpunk,
So
yeah, Cyberpunk. Had we known, we could have went ahead and put some more time into that. But
yeah.
we'll be doing Cyberpunk soon, probably next week. Anyway, hello, Peter, the underground game cat on Pearl. What's up? What's up, Spry Guy? Good to see you. Corporate Zombie says he's on 850, but was running 770s in SLI before, so you needed all that power.
I'm running 850 now with my 3080 Ti. So
well, that's a good spot. It's a good spot to be in 850. You got a little overhead there. Everything should run well. Let's see who else is here. Wolf Raza is here. What's up? Simplex joining us from. He's in Cyprus, so he's actually not in Poland right now. It's 8 a.m. for Simplex. Thank you for joining us, friend. I guess I could switch over to live chat. That would probably help a little. Who else is in the chat? Zayla Maru, good to see you. Space Dennison, what's up, bro? Who else? Ben L of the Game Cat Army. Going to sleep? Well, we'll see you tomorrow, Ben. Good night. Ion the Icon. Good to see you. Our winner last week.
Yeah, what are you thinking of Red Matter 2, Ion? I'd be interested to know.
I already know.
Well, that's right.
What's up?
I know too, and I don't even have to ask him.
Carl Parker says we're not talking Transformers on PSVR. We will talk about that on Sunday.
That's
strange.
News.
Yeah. We do our news discussion on the flagship Virtual Strangers program every Sunday. So we'll be talking about that then. Let's see. We got anybody else? We got Radio Runt. Radio Runt's ready for some more Fallout.
You know what he's not ready for? Because I was talking. He was actually, like I said, he was helping D. Actually, I told Mash that, and he helped D get out of Tarkov. He was the map. He said I was telling him he was so, oh, there's a show tonight. And then I told him, yeah, we're talking about Red Matter 2 and Half-Life 2 VR mod. And he yawned at the Half-Life 2 VR mod. Because he's not impressed.
Right. Well, probably hasn't played it yet. Probably not a Half-Life fan. And I got thinking about how we could get, Fallout kind of into the mix here because I need to get back to it. And that kind of fits in both ways because it's one of the classic games, right? It's one of the best of Gen 1 VR. But at the same time, there's a shit ton of mods for it. And we could even mod the flat version and play it with Restream in 3D. And that's supposed to have a lot of cool stuff to offer as well. So there's a lot of directions we could take that one.
I think that's a good idea. And you know what we could do? We could let without them going crazy, we could let the patrons vote on which mods they want us to choose. I have no idea what good ones are out there. So many people do. And the thing is I've modded the shit out of Skyrim VR. Ridiculous. 350 plus. It was amazing. Oh, actually, I might do that again. I've never done one mod for Fallout 4 VR, so I think it would be really interesting for me to see what things are out there.
So I say when we do it, we should cover it as a classic game first, and then we'll revisit it sometime later, modded, and we'll hit it twice.
Good idea.
Four Willin rounding out the chat at the very top. Thank you for stopping by, Four Willin. Anyway, let's get into some game talk. It's what we're all here for. And, man, one of the reasons why it was just kind of out of the question to postpone this show any longer is because I need to get in front of this camera and microphone and tell people just how good Red Matter 2 is. Of course, we are playing courtesy of our friends at Vertical Robot. We'd like to thank them for being so kind as to allow us review access, both on Quest and PCVR, which was pretty cool because I started playing on Quest. I moved over to Steam to play on my Reverb G2. Went back to Quest for a little bit, and then the majority of my gameplay came after that on my G2. So I've had a nice back and forth. So I'm going to say two things here in all sincerity, and I want people to kind of digest and think about what I'm saying here. First of all, this is one of the most beautiful VR games I've ever played. In terms of production value, in terms of graphical fidelity, this is one of the most beautiful and scenic VR games that I've ever played in my life. That's one. Two, you're not really missing out on anything if you play this on Quest. It looks almost identical on Quest. There are noticeable differences if you look at it under a microscope. But I wouldn't say that someone playing this on Quest is missing out on anything at all. So think about that for a minute. If 2 plus 2 equals 4, I just said, I'll spell it out for you, that Red Matter 2 on Oculus Quest is one of the most beautiful VR games I've ever played. Think about that. Insanity, Roots, black magic, wizardry.
I don't know what's going on in there, but it is. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, man, this is like the best game, maybe the best game I've seen on Quest. And then I thought, no, wait, in VR in general, because
Yeah.
like it's everything. It's not just the lighting, which the lighting is amazing. The reflections. I've never seen a space like when I was standing out there, and I actually was in the ship, and I looked out one window and I saw the rings of Saturn, and I thought, wow, that looks so cool. And I ran to the other side, and I saw the actual meteors, and I saw the details. You could see the rings of Saturn from a different angle, and you could actually see what's making the rings of Saturn up, the actual little particles, or actually bigger meteors, or whatever you want to call it. The detail blew me away. It was crazy.
Yeah, the scenery in this game is just stunning. And it's interesting because a lot of what makes this game great is kind of similar to what the type of thing that makes Moss Book 2 great, but it's polar opposites in other ways. Like Moss Book 2, it uses scale very well to kind of shrink things down and put everything right in front of you, and you can kind of lean in and take in all the detail. But with Red Matter 2, everything is just massive. Some of the areas in this game are just unbelievably huge and just breathtaking. Like, you'll hear a lot of numbers when people talk about how long it takes to play through this game. And I think I'm at about 6 hours right now, and I still haven't finished it, although I feel like I'm getting close. But I got to say, a good period of that time, it's just me stopping to soak it in, because there's so many beautiful vistas as you progress through this campaign. And unlike the first one, you're not just all stuck in the same scene. Like this game has you hopping all over the solar system, visiting different bases, and it really is top notch, AAA level quality in terms of graphics and in terms of everything with regards to production. I mean, this game. It's amazing, and I can't think of really one specific department in which this game doesn't just knock it out of the park.
No. Before we get away from the way things looked, did you notice like the detail and like the glass like tunnel and stuff, the scratches on the window, the smears, and like even on the handheld device you have, you can see like some smudges where obviously something's hit it, and it just like I said, I just blown away by the detail so much. And you were kind of alluding to this when we were talking before the show. It's like, or maybe I guess yeah, alluding because you didn't really say. This is like a an upgrade from the first one in every single way. Like the movement that you're seeing here, the jetpack. You know, I was at first I didn't even realize, Wes. I jumped in there and I started running around. There is no running around in the first one, right? You just moved
I
around
mean,
from spot to spot. You could slowly move, right? But not like you can
right.
now.
Right, you can run in this one, whereas that was not so much the case in the first one. Although there was some free locomotion options, it was all very slow.
Yeah. And so like you had the main teleport and it was like to specific general, I guess I think it was specific spots. Here it's like I felt like that old what's that Commodore 64 game, Lunar Lander or something, where you had to use the teleport, or not teleport, but the thrusters, right? To keep yourself and kind of angle yourself. So many times I'd be coming down in here and was able to maneuver myself just with those thrusters. And it just feels so good.
Yeah, and we'll get back to the production end of it in a minute, and we'll kind of move off of that because as good as the visuals and sound of the game are, I feel like what really makes this a great game is the gameplay, not just the movement, but certainly that's a part of it. Where the original Red Matter, you could pretty much call it a story-driven puzzler and keep it in that box. This game does so much more than that, which it still at its core, it is a story-driven puzzler, but they have expanded the gameplay. I mean, there's tons of platforming. There's more platforming than puzzle solving in this game. There's combat. There are parts of it that are labyrinth-like and maze-like that you have to find your way through, and the puzzles routes. It's interesting because they're more of an exercise in problem solving than like cold hard puzzles, which makes them fun, but they're not so difficult. Like I haven't really got stumped for more than like 5 minutes yet on any of these, but I have had to think. I've had to think a couple of times. So it's challenging, but it's challenging in so many different ways. It's so much more than just a puzzler.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's just, like you said, so much more to it. And like even the puzzles that were, I guess, kind of like Alex or Half-Life Alex, like the 3D thing where you're moving something around. I thought that was really cool. Where you had to grab that little triangle or that orb and move it, and going by the sound, it was really cool.
Yeah, very, very. So what Roots is talking about, or you do a lot of hacking in this game, trying to hack into the systems of the various bases that you visit, and the mechanic to do that very similar to Half-Life Alex, where you have this kind of 3D hologram projection that pops up that you manipulate. But that's just one type of puzzles. I mean, they have some pretty basic circuitry puzzles. You encounter those pretty early on. There are light puzzles with lasers and mirrors. There's lots of like physics-based stuff that you have to work your way through. And then again, there's just like problem solving, where you kind of have to find unconventional ways to conventional problems. So many different types of scenarios and problem solving. Again, to go on top of the constant the constant platforming that you do in the game, and again later on, combat sequences.
Yeah. Physics were really good too, right? Like you said, it's physics based, but physics everywhere with everything. So you're not putting your
Yeah,
hands through stuff. You can grab and stuff. You're, even just in the beginning, opening that door and turning the handle, and super cool. And it just really gives you that immersion, a real immersive feeling. So
yeah, it's one of the things that really make the graphics all that much more impressive because again, this is something that has been developed with the Quest 2 hardware in mind to run on standalone. Uh, and it looks like a great looking PCVR game, but it also uses proper physics. Like it uses Gen 2 VR physics in this game. So how do they do that? Well, they do that by keeping your areas confined, and there are of course spots outside where you can see for miles, but any time that you're actually playing the game or you get in where there's puzzle solving or something that has to be done, it's always in a confined space. And when you move from one room to the other, there's always a transition period. It's kind of the oldest trick in the book. They put you in an airlock or something, and they make you sit there and wait while the next room loads. But by keeping it all confined, they can really throw everything that that hardware has into every room, and it really shows. It, like amazing design choices made by the team behind this, and really showing us what is possible on even this 2-year old standalone headset. We're only just now starting to learn what this thing can actually do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy. And my thing, the one thing that I harped about with Red Matter 1, it was a story, not really kind of liking the way, I guess it really came down to how it ended, because it had been so long since I played it. But like, man, at this, I'm so intrigued on what's going on, and I really enjoy just the way everything's going with this chick I'm talking to, and I just really I like it. I think it's good. It's very AAA level, right?
It's deep. The story's going on so many different levels here, and it's all mystery. You're trying to kind of put it all together, what's happening, and there are clues everywhere. Now you have to be super liberal with your scan tool to kind of unravel some of this stuff, and some of it's not always in the most obvious spot, but there are clues everywhere. The thing is, after the first game roots, I don't trust it. Like after the twist, and I don't want to spoil the first game for anybody who hasn't played it, but I just can't trust that this isn't all bullshit. Like the whole game, just bullshit. Like because that's pretty much what the first one was, right? It was all bullshit.
Yeah. Well, maybe it'll bring it all around to where the first one wasn't. It'll be even more of a mind fuck.
That's true. That's true. Um, anyway, it's a bit of a masterpiece in terms of gameplay, in terms of storytelling, and one of the things really that sets it apart is that the soundtrack. I think as much as we're raving about, the lighting, the detail, how beautiful the game looks, I think the soundtrack's just as good because they've obviously commissioned a very talented composer, and they put classical music behind it, but it's not like light classical or anything like that. It's movie tunes. It's the same type of stuff you would hear if you were watching a big budget movie. It feels honestly, Roots, this feels like a Star Wars game to me. Like when I play this, I feel like I'm playing a Star Wars game. And at first, I was like, man, if this just had like some combat in it, this would be Star Wars. And then by the time you get to the later levels, the combat shows up. So like now the only thing that's making this not be a Star Wars game is Star Wars lore, Star Wars characters, but the production value of it, the way that it looks, the way that it feels, the way that it sounds, this feels like a legit Star Wars game, which only leads me to believe that if we ever get that true Star Wars adventure in VR, it's got to be Vertical Robot that does it, right? I think they've earned that with this game.
I think they could nail it for sure. And I know exactly what you're saying. I was like, my first time in the beginning area, right? You're in that space area and the music, and I'm like, wow, like it just feels it fits, right? I'm like just hearing it, and I'm like, what great music, and it just continues throughout. At least as far as I've gone, I haven't gone as far as you, but it's definitely it's just top notch.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what else can say. I feel like I'm putting it over kind of hard, and I think some people are going to feel like we're just kind of being overly enthusiastic about
Yeah,
it.
but
But I'm
we
just
don't do that. Like we're never overly enthusiastic unless a game. I don't know. I don't feel like we are, but maybe.
I feel like Roots, and this is, and maybe there's some recency bias going on here because I'm still kind of heavily involved with this one. I feel like this might be the best game I've played this year. Like
Wanderer,
in a
even
year,
better than Wanderer.
in a year that Hitman 3 came to PC, in a year that Wanderer came out, in a year that Moss Book 2 came out, I can't really think of anything that I could be legitimately critical of in this game. Um, of course, we'd always like more. Obviously, this is around 7 hours by most people's accounts, but they priced it appropriately, right? It's a $30 price tag, which is in many ways feels like it's underpriced when you get in there and you see just how good it is.
Yeah, amount of detail. I was just thinking that too, man. Imagine just because there's so many games out there that aren't like this out there. Man, this is gonna blow so many people away. So many Quest players, people that just got into VR and they're like, oh my god, like just the movement, the jetpack, just everything about it, the story. It's just amazing.
So let's nitpick. I mean, there's got to be stuff in here that wasn't all great. I can give you one for example. You were talking about the way that it saves fairly often, and it does. It saves in good spots as you make it from one area to the next. It auto saves. I would have really liked a manual save to be available as well, because there are certain areas in this game that aren't easy. When you get to these parts where the auto turrets are kind of surveilling, if those things see you, you're dead in 2 seconds. You're dead. But they'll string like 3 or 4 rooms together that you have to find your way through. And if like the third one kills you, you got to go all the way back to the beginning. And it's not easy to get around these things. Like some of them you have to go up and over. Some of them you got to go under. Some of them you got to go around. But some of them are hard to get around, or at least the way I did it. It wasn't easy. And I found myself, having to redo things over and over and over again that I would have really liked to have been able to skip by having an automatic save. So if I have to be critical, there's one.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And maybe I was asking you, and you didn't take a look, you didn't see. I didn't get a chance to get in the PC version. I was noticing on the Quest version, at least, that because I was marveling. I was looking at all the reflections. I was like, oh wow, I want to see myself. So I went to the wall and I couldn't see myself. I was a vampire, and then I picked up a monitor and I was a vampire in there as well. And I was thinking, well, maybe on the PC version you can actually see a reflection of yourself. And I don't know if that's just something they missed, or if there's something that they just didn't expect anybody to look, or it doesn't, because it really doesn't matter.
Or something that they don't want you to see for some reason.
Ah, yeah, that's true. That's then maybe possible. Just see it like a blur or something.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's kind of ironic because they did kind of overboard the lighting and reflections in this game. Everything is shiny, especially in the beginning parts. Like there's lights and reflections all over everything. It's like they're showing off. Like they figured out how to do real-time lighting on Oculus Quest, so they're going to put it all over everything. But ironically, there's no reflection of you or your body, no shadow or anything like that. Which again, maybe there's a good reason for that. But certainly it seems like an oversight at the least.
Yeah, maybe not. But that was just something I was looking for, and I was a little sad I couldn't see myself. I wanted to see what I look like, man. Like I want to put a name with a face, And
everything has texture on it because, as Roots mentioned earlier, they kind of use this same technique that that they used in the original over the top, to the top. When you get on these big like rubber surfaces into the top and you look at it closely, how it has scuffs and marks all over it. There's a lot of that. It's all over the windows. Basically, every reflective or transparent surface has this kind of layer over it to make it seem real, make it seem aged and worn. And again, something that I got to imagine doesn't have the most expensive bill in terms of performance overhead, but adds a lot in terms of immersion. So you pay a little and you gain a lot from it. So again, just expert artwork, expert level design. Really, I mean, this, I feel like I'm putting it over too much, but seriously, I think this thing's like a 10 in every department. It's really really good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And just even looking, watching that thing go down there, the walkway, it did kind of look like Star Wars, right?
Yeah, man, it feels like Star Wars. Like it feels like you're in a Star Wars episode when you're playing through this. Although it is very slow paced, it is again at its core a puzzler, but it's not just a puzzler. I'm going to be nitpicky about one more thing, and I feel like this is something that they could really correct if they want to. Other than the saving system, if you die, it doesn't take you all the way back to the last save. It'll put you right where you died at. And as you get later on in the game with some of the more challenging platforming, this can be a negative because there was twice that I had to start the game over because the place where it spawned me back in just dropped me right back down into the hole I just got killed in. So I got caught in this kind of loop of the game respawning me and then killing me over and over and over again. Happened to me in two different spots. So I feel like maybe they could be a little bit more careful of stuff like that, kind of putting players in this soft lock situation where the only way out is to kill the game and go back in from your last save.
Yeah, just especially in those specific areas, just start you at the beginning of that little platforming section, like almost every other game would do, and they're usually not they're going to start you at the beginning of it, right? So
Right. Again, though, this is all very minor stuff. It's all nitpicky. Simplex says the limp sync needs improvement, but
that,
I mean,
that
what was
is
that?
that is something I noticed. In the at least in the beginning, I was watching. You don't really pay attention after a while, right? But
Well, I mean, that was the only spot that I've seen any lip sync in is at the very beginning. After that, I haven't seen any more character models that speak to you.
mm,
So that's really,
that's
I
it.
mean,
That's
it's a
it.
legitimate criticism, but it's over as fast as it starts.
Well, what's bad is it looks so good. The face is so detailed, right? And so you're like really zoning in, watching. So if they could fix that, that'd be another thing they could fix pretty easy, right?
Yeah, I got to imagine that. I mean, again, there's not a whole lot for them to work on here. If they're going to continue supporting this game, I'm going to be really interested to see what kind of updates that they put into it. Like, what more could they do to make it better? Like,
I,
I don't know.
I don't know. I think the second one's so good. I don't know that I would want to go back and play the first one as much. I mean, even though it's still, I think it'd be worth playing. And this one's it's just so good.
Yeah, the first one's good. I mean, the puzzling's good. I mean, if you like puzzle games, Red Matter One's a good puzzle game. But as we have often said on this, a good sequel improves in every category, and this does it and then some. Like this moves beyond being just a puzzler into to being a true adventure game, a puzzle based adventure game, and man, I'm so impressed with it. Um, all the different locations that you get to visit in this game. There's so many different locations and areas that you get to move through, and something else too. I don't know if you've made it into any of the like kind of maze like areas, but you start to kind of grapple with your sanity as the game goes on, and they really, in a very clever way, put you in these corridors and labyrinths that you have to really try hard to find your way through because going through this door will loop you back to a spot where you've already been. You know, stuff that doesn't make logical sense. Like you'll keep walking in one direction, but you'll find yourself back where you started, and like they'll give you four ways to go. Three of them will loop, and one of them will be the right way, and you kind of have to search your way through it. It's kind of it kind of has a surreal aspect to it that these kind of cold hard puzzle games typically don't have, and that was something else that I really really enjoyed about this game.
Yeah, that's crazy. Simplex says but this dev is 4 people.
That's amazing.
That's
I
insane.
mean, that like if you had told me that this came from a team of like 30 people, I would have said, yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Uh,
I
that
mean,
makes
really, the
that makes you think that there's 26 people in another company fucking around. You know, like if four
right,
people can do
exactly.
this, what are those the other companies with 30 people that aren't doing it?
You know, really, the only thing I could be critical of in that aspect of it, and we already mentioned it, is obviously when you the games we're looking for today, we want a little more out of it, and instead of just 5, 6, 7 hours. The perfect game for me is like 15 to 20 hours in VR. Like I'm not one of these people who say that it needs to be like a flat game where you're playing 40, 60, 100 hours. That's too much for me. It's overwhelming, especially in VR. But I do like 12, 15, 20. This game is relatively short compared to most games like that. So I guess if having a small team shows itself anywhere in the game, it's that. It's that this is a relatively short game that I imagine isn't going to have any replay value or very little replay value after you finish it. After you know the answers to all the puzzles, then you'll be able to fly through this thing.
Yeah, any speed run. That's replay. See how fast you can get through it.
Yeah, you could probably get through it. I've seen people getting through it in 3 hours on YouTube, but it's very misleading. It Everyone who's making it through this in 3 or 4 hours has already played it. They already know the answers. They're just speeding through it for the sake of making a video. So this legitimately is a 7 hour game. That's what most people are saying. First playthrough 7 hours, and again, I'm 6 hours into it, and I'm not done with it. So I think that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah, for me, and this is weird. I mean, not that I guess it's not weird per se, but like I find myself wanting to take my time. You know, like I want to look and scan everything, like you said. That's because that's how I'm finding out what's going on, and I'm not just reading stuff. Like the whole thing is just super cool the way they do it. I really enjoy it so far, and I want to go back in and find out more what's happening.
I suggest you do, and the further you get, the better it gets. Like it's at least up until this point, um, it has just continued to get better and better and better and better.
Well, Traveling Man
So,
has finished the game, and he enjoyed the entire thing. So that should give you hope that it's going to continue, right? That's not going to somehow get weird at the end. And I don't know. So far, I mean, I wish I could like float down to the. Maybe I wouldn't be a good idea to float down there to the planet, but it does look beautiful down there.
Simplex says the older I get, the more I appreciate shorter games. 5 to 10 is fine by me. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, yeah. You can. I'm the same way. You can't really call it too short. Um, and a game has if a game's 4 hours or more for me, I can't really say that it's too short. What I'm trying to say is it's so good. I wish it was twice as long. Like it's not too short, but I really wish that I was more like halfway through it right now, as opposed to approaching the end of it.
Yeah. Well, you can compare it to Red Dead 2 because Red Dead 2 had four people that worked on. Oh wait, probably 400. Like that's a game
Right.
I've put. I don't even know how many hours I've put in. I'm 50% now west through the game, and like that is a rare game because if it wasn't as good as it was, I would have already been like it's too much. I'm talking probably
Right.
50, 70, 80 hours, right? And it's rare, but I agree. I could probably double this uh, game time wise and be happy with it. So
Yeah. Give me a Star Wars game, Vertical Robot. Oculus, Sony, somebody buy these people and put them to making a Star Wars game. These people buy the studio, don't buy the people. We haven't done that for
we got to
100
get away
years.
from slavery. That's not a good thing.
Yeah. But buy this studio, Sony, Meta, somebody buy this studio and put these people to making a proper Star Wars game. I think they've proven that they can handle it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, if I was Meta, I'd be all over them, man. The way that they have demonstrated that they can bring PC quality into that standalone headset. Can you imagine what this team's going to be able to do with Quest 3? Like,
Right.
or even Cambria with all the new sensors and things on it. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Come on, man.
Anyway, I feel like we've put this one over enough. Go buy it, everyone. It's a must-own title. And yeah, if you're wondering, does it matter which version you get? No, it don't. It's awesome on Quest. It's awesome on PC. Yeah, just get it wherever you can, and hopefully, when we see this on PSVR 2, hopefully they'll make use of some of the new bells and whistles, and I'll have fun playing through it all over again on that on that platform.
And Traveling Man says, imagine what they can do with Unreal Engine 5. Absolutely.
And sky's the limit. Sky's the limit for these people. I'm just so impressed. And again, it's the front runner, man. It just moved to the top of the short list. And we've got about a third of the year to go.
That's so crazy. If you had said that to me last week, I would have been like, no, man. Like, it's going to be good. I know it's going to be really good, but it's going to be better than Wanderer? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Wanderer had a lot of jank when it launched, dude.
It did. Yeah, I got stuck on the raft, remember? That was...
Yeah. Yeah, at least we're not sitting here talking about how Roots never made it off of the little pod spaceship thing, right? At least you got to play it.
That was cool, man. Like, one of the coolest things about this thing is, like, I feel like you're really going on an adventure. You know what I mean? And that was one of the things that I really bummed me out about, like, the Star Trek game that Ubisoft put out, that you were on a cool thing with your friends, but you never really got to go off the ship and go explore. And that's why From Other Suns was so cool. And I think that, you could have a really elaborate, like, crazy adventure, Guardians of the Galaxy style, right? Where you're traveling in that game, the flat game, where you're going all over the place, right? You could do the same thing with, like you said, Star Wars. It'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It really just, and don't get me wrong, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge is great. But man, this is better, right? This is better.
This is way better. The graphics, this is like legit AAA level on every level. So, it just, you would think Star Wars would have done it first, but no, they did not.
Apparently, these four people, did it better than ILMX Lab. Imagine that.
It's crazy. Gabriel says they still have some jank in Wander. Yeah, it's still a little bit, but it's way better than it was.
Yeah, it's a great game. Don't get me wrong. Wanderer is awesome. And again, we may be exercising recency bias here. We might feel differently about it at the end of the year when we revisit all this and we talk about Game of the Year. But right now, I'm absolutely blown away and just smitten with this game. Scion, bro. Scion. You got to play this, man. You got to play it.
Oh, yeah, he's going to love it. And I think we're not going to change our mind, and this is why. Because our impression of the game, I mean, not even first impressions, just in general, is so good. And when we go back at the end of the year, we're going to go back into this thing with the intention of looking at it and judging everything we just saw, and we're going to be blown away again. I guarantee it. So this is going to be a big contender, I believe.
So Bacardi B wants to know, is this Red Matter? This is Red Matter 2.
Yeah, this is the second one.
Yep. And it's awesome. A steal at $30. Get it no matter what platform that you're playing on. It's great on both PC and Quest. It's just excellent.
Wolvie says he's still waiting on the part 3 of Galaxy's Edge. I don't think I even played the second one, if I'm being honest. For me, if I did, I barely went in it. I just don't remember it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. So it might be better than we even know. Right?
Yeah, it could be amazing. We'd be like missed out, dude. Don't remember everybody raving about it though. Dude, gamer tag raving about this. You know what I mean? Like, that's when all the content creators are raving. It's a good game, because we don't rave anymore about shit unless it's like really good. So
yeah, I thought Todd was exercising a bit of hyperbole when he put his video out. It said Game of the Year on it. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. Everything's Game of the Year, right? No, man, it's legit this time. It really is in that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, let's move along to the week's mod, and we wanted to take the opportunity to revisit something we actually checked out before in a real-time review. Half-Life 2 VR is coming to Steam on September 16th. The Steam page just went up. You can wishlist it now, and it's going to be open and available to the public in just a couple of weeks. First of all, Roots, it's been a while since we played this. It was like 6 months or something like that. I tried to go back into it and pick up where I left off, but my save was broken. I could not reload the game. Were you able to reload this, or did you have to start over again? Like
I did start over, but I just assumed it was. I played offline, so cause you know what I mean, both times. So I just assumed that it was like something with that. Although I was able to get when I went back in the second time, start back where I was left off. So it must have erased.
Oh yeah,
it.
yeah. After I started over again, my saves worked, but my old save from the previous version of the game did not load. It gave me some kind of error about some map file being corrupted, and I tried for about a half an hour to fix it, and then I was streaming it, so I asked people, what do you want me to do? You want to play Red Matter? You want me to start over? And they said start over, so that's what I did. The good thing is where we weren't doing a real-time review, and I was just doing a regular gameplay stream. I did get a chance to play quite a bit more of it this time than I did last time. And yeah, man, I'm just as impressed with it as I was last time. I couldn't tell a bunch, a big difference in it over the last time, but I did notice one thing. If you'll remember last time, as soon as I started playing it, I think it was Wolveraza pointed out that if you're holding the crowbar or holding the gun, that there's no hand model. It's just a floating gun, floating crowbar. They fixed that. So now you have your hand on the gun, your hand on the crowbar. That's really the only major difference that I noticed in this.
I just didn't remember it looking this good. I mean, I do remember it being good, amazing, but like especially in the beginning when you've got dude that everybody, what's this dude's name that everybody freaks out about in the beginning?
Yeah, the G-Man.
Yeah, the G-Man, man. I was like, fuck, man, that looks so good, right? And I always look at it like from somebody maybe that's never been in VR in a mod or VR mod, or maybe never been in Half-Life Alyx. And even if you have been in Half-Life Alyx, I mean, granted, not everything's like the high-end textures, but my God, it looks phenomenal, right? Like you're looking at all that stuff. It just looked crazy good.
Yeah, here's the cool thing, man. I mean, it doesn't have the same amount of visual polish as like a Half-Life Alyx, but we have to remember this thing's what, 12, 15 years old, something like that. This is an older game, and it still looks great. And what you're losing with regards to that visual polish, I feel like you're gaining in the storytelling and gameplay here. I feel like Half-Life Alyx is a bit subdued due to VR limitations, where this feels like a full-on flat game, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the depth, everything about it, the story, the gameplay. It's obviously a really long game, and it's hard as fuck. If you just play it on normal, I mean, it's not too hard, but like some of the places in the beginning, and then I remember watching you play it before, and I was like trying to tell you, I was like, Wes, it's designed for you to go through fast, and Wes is stopping, and he's just killing everything, and there's fucking people shooting everywhere. Because that beginning part's kind of a gauntlet, right? I don't know if you ran through it a little bit faster this time, but it was crazy last time.
I killed them all again.
It's crazy. But yeah, no, the gameplay is definitely amazing. This game is I can see why everybody enjoyed this game back in the day, right?
Yeah, here's the thing. Every enemy that you kill in the early part of the game gives you ammunition. So basically, I just hang around and kill guys until my ammo's maxed, and then I move on. Now, a little bit later on in the game, you got drones and all kinds of crazy shit coming after you. So, it doesn't pay to hang around. But Man, it gets crazy pretty quickly. I did finally get a chance to play the infamous boat level, where you have to go down the river on the boat, and not only do you have dudes jumping in from every direction trying to shoot you, you've got a helicopter chasing you.
It's crazy, right? How cool is that? That's when it gets
Yeah,
to really feel AAA, is in that when you get on that boat, right?
yeah, man, and I mean there are people firing RPGs at you from the shore. Like it really gets insane and breakneck speeds. Um, I mean, I could see where that might be a little too intense for a lot of people who are sensitive to like movement.
Mm.
It's so fast. Even like the walking speed in this game is super fast, which is something I enjoy, but might not be for everyone.
Well, I'll tell you what. Teleport and slow walking with snap turn isn't for me. It's not for everyone either. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing, and especially with a mod, why would you want to break what worked in the beginning? It's not for everybody. Maybe they'll put teleport in there. I don't know, but I just feel like that this game is so deep. This is why I love AAA games turned into VR mods. They're just so good, and the lighting in this, I just feel like somebody that comes into this that's never played a VR game or even this type of game is going to be blown away. This is amazing.
Yeah, it really is a great game. Um, Old Darth asks, will this mod work with Black Mesa? I wouldn't think so, because this works differently than any other VR mod I've ever seen. Typically, when you mod a flat game into VR, you're downloading some files that you're required to take into the root directory of the game, and you're manually applying those files to modify the game. This this is different. This is just like you're buying a game from Steam. Like, you've got to have the original Half-Life. You got to have that on your machine installed. But to mod it, you just go to the Steam store, you purchase the game, and you download it. It installs itself, and it just works like a VR game. Like, it's more like a port than a mod. Honestly, it's like a VR port, because there's no modding involved, not on our part.
No, you literally just download it. It mods it. Like Wes said, you just have to have the game already installed. And I hope this is the future of modding. I mean, it's not going to be the future of all mods because clearly Steam has to okay it, right? Like, so you'd have to be able to do it this way. Steam has to say, okay, we're going to put our name, or at least allow it on our store and allow you to just distribute keys this way, or however they do it, right? So
It gives you hope, though, that for games like Deep Rock Galactic and others that have the blessing of the development team, that they could one day reach this level of polish. Because really, the only thing that gives this game away as a mod, like I would swear that this is just a VR game. The only thing that makes it seem like a mod is what happens when you grab the dead enemies' bodies, because they still start flipping out and going ape shit and trying to just fucking like vibrate their way out of the world. It's crazy. It's hilarious, but it is jank. It's just fucking hilarious jank is what it is.
it's not just the bodies either. If you climb up a ladder and you're a couple times I was trying to climb, and for whatever reason I I flew up in the air, like way up there, and I was like trying to fall because I was trying to get over this gate, and I couldn't do it. But I had a real trouble getting up the ladder. So
It took me a while to figure that out, and you can see on the stream I did the first few times I encountered ladders, I had trouble with them, but I did eventually figure it out. What you have to do is when you get to the top of a ladder, you have to take your controllers and just like you're skiing, just kind of push them behind you,
okay.
and it'll throw you where you need to go most of the time. So after I figured that out, I had a lot better time with the ladders.
How about that piece of shit fucker that like grabbed that can and threw it down on the ground and then told you to pick it up? I was like, oh my God, I really wish I could grab the baton and use it on him. But those guards don't fuck around, so you kind of have to do what they say.
Yeah, power tripping cops, man. I hate them. I hate them in real life. I hate them in video games.
Absolutely.
Anyway, I don't want to retread too much with this one, but how cool is it that everyone's going to finally get their hands on this? This is probably the most highly anticipated VR mod ever, right? I mean, people were talking about this when I first built my PC 6 years ago. 6 years ago? Was it six? No, it was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, when I first built my PC, people were talking about this mod back then. It's kind of had this mythical status to it. And then after a while, everyone gave up and thought that it was never coming. But thanks to Dr. Beef and a couple of other people reviving it, it lives. And we're just now a couple weeks away from everyone getting to play it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I played it like a year and a half ago, or a version of it where you had to load each chapter individually. And it was cool, but it was not even close to this. And it's just super cool that everybody's finally getting a chance to check it out. And I mean, this is the thing. This is good for VR, right? These are the mods. I mean, this is the mod that you can point to now. Half-Life 2 VR. Valve's behind it. It's on their store. You can get it on the Steam, right? You don't even have to do anything. And for a lot of people that maybe played Half-Life Alyx and they're craving more Half-Life, they can go back into this game that they played flat and redo it in the best way possible, right? And because this doesn't feel like a mod, it feels like a legit, like that this game was made in VR, at least 99% of it. So
Simplex says, ironically, it's a port and it just has mod in the title. I would agree with that. It has the blessing of the developer. It's being, it's not from Valve, but I mean, we've had other ports that get outsourced to smaller indie studios. So, I mean, technically, it probably is a port, to be honest. Just a real, I mean, if it's a mod, it's great, right? It's a great mod.
how smart is Valve? They've been doing this from day one, right? Just letting the communities do the work for free. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, if they made a name for themselves doing this game, Valve gets their game put in VR. I mean, who knows? Maybe there was some monetary money transferred. I don't know. But just super cool. It's good for everybody.
Old Darth wants to know, is this going to be free or how much is it going to cost? I think it is going to be free, although I wouldn't blame them if they put $5 or $10 on it. It's probably free. I'm almost sure that it's free, and that's probably the reason why Valve is letting them do it, because they're not going to profit from it.
But if Valve decided to let them profit from it, it's on their store. They get their cut. So, you know what I mean? Like, I could see it either way. I couldn't see it being more than $10, but I don't think I think like you said, I think it'll be free.
Yeah, so you do have to own the original Half-Life 2 game. So that's kind of the big win for Valve here, is even if it is free,
That's true.
people are going to be buying Half-Life 2 to play it in VR now. Like, I wasn't a Half-Life fan before VR. I bought this game so that I could play it in VR.
Are you going to buy Far Cry 3? Was that the one that somebody posted on the Discord, said this is rumored to be coming to VR soon?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing that, but I haven't been.
It was I think it was Void Citizen, I believe. I'm not sure, but I know it was yesterday, and it was a Far Cry game. I think it was the third one, but I can't remember.
Just VR game talk. Let's see. Maybe I just missed it. People still talking about Bone Lab. Of course, Jarilla made his monthly appearance to show up and shit on Bone Lab and then dip.
That was so funny, man. Because, like, I mean, he could be right. I doubt it. Doesn't. I think it looks really good, but
yeah, I do too. I do too. I think the days of people being able to shit on Oculus Quest are quickly coming to a close, because now we have Red Matter 2. We've had some other awesome titles before, but Into the Radius is coming in a couple of weeks, and then Bone Lab coming later this year. Saints and Sinners 2, I'm sure, is going to be amazing on it. Like, the days of Quest 2 being less than, they're about over with now. I can say that in all honesty.
yeah, absolutely. Traveler Man says yes, it was Far Cry 3. So Yeah, so that's the rumor. I don't know who's rumored to be doing it. But usually if somebody says that there's a rumor about a mod, it's pretty almost always within a month or two it's out. So
You want to hear something cool?
Hmm.
I've never played any Far Cry games.
Really, I played I think I played one of them. I can't remember which one. It was either 3 or 4 on the PlayStation 4. I think it was. I can't remember. On one of. I think it was 3. It might have been 3. It was pretty cool. It's a really good one. If the one I played was pretty good.
I remember I watched somebody play a lot of one of them way back in the day. Like it must have been 15 years ago. And I thought it was really cool at the time, but at that time, the only gaming I was doing was playing like retro games and stuff. So,
Hmm.
um, like many other famed gaming franchises, my first experience in Far Cry will
PVR.
would be in VR.
I think you'll love it. A lot of action, very action-packed games. Well, you just said you watched it.
Wolf Raza says, "Good luck getting PSVR without parole to stop crapping from great heights on the Quest." Hey man, if that's what you think, bro, I've been on without parole for half a year now almost, and Brian has seen the light. I go back and go back to this past Wednesday's episode, and just look at what Brian says about Red Matter 2 on Oculus Quest 2 because we did talk about it, and guess what? It's just as awesome as I just said it was. And he's not blind. He sees that too.
Yeah. Well, he's got it easy too. He knows like just on the horizon. Doesn't matter how good he praises now. The PSVR 2 is gonna shit all over everything, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. We're finally getting down to that. The dam's about to break on PSVR 2. Like we've got the official release window now. The Sony PS5 showcase is looming. It's going to drop within the next few weeks. Everyone get your bank account in order now. I would bet $100 that within a month we're going to be pre-ordering PSVR 2.
On Amazon? No, probably not.
Yeah. I think pre-orders will be open everywhere. Yeah.
Because I usually like to get mine on Amazon because they don't charge me until they ship.
They charge you when it ships. Yeah. That's right.
So,
I'll probably order it in both places. Like I'll probably order one from Sony Direct, and then I'll order one from Amazon too. And that way, if there's a delay with one, I'll have the other one coming. And like you said, Amazon, they don't charge until it ships. So it's not like it's going to hit my bank account twice.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And Simplex says he'd gladly pay for this mod, and that's the thing. Most people would, and it wouldn't be crazy. You know what I mean? Like it would be a good thing, I think, in a sense, for the people that made it. But I don't think it will be charged.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of people being rewarded for their work. Right? That these people have worked on this game for years. So I think if it does turn out to be free, we need to kind of push people to go and donate. Right? Like this type of work needs to be rewarded. If you want to get more stuff like this, you got to give people some incentive to go do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gabriel 004, I am ready. Try to use Amazon. Yeah, I pre-ordered my PS5 from Amazon. But with that said, the only reason that's true is because that was where I could get my pre-order in at. I missed all the pre-orders while I was at work. I was so pissed off. And then thankfully I'm a part of the Without Parole Discord. And I think it was Jay Meow shared the link when Amazon went live. And it just so happens I'm a registered Prime user, already have all my payment stuff set up. I can get through Amazon checkout in 10 seconds. And that's exactly what I did. And I got the PS5, thankfully.
That's how I bought my Quest 2, but not a PS5. I got on Craigslist. Or
Spry Guy says it's a Lamar
Facebook.
sighting. That's true. I see Lamar. What's up, Lamar? The little pet head crab, Lamar.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's fun. He's cool actually. He just wants to have fun.
Yeah, yeah. That's what like Cindy Lauper said, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Head crabs just want to have fun. You know who else has head crabs roots?
My
Said a
mom!
lot of them.
Anyway, I know it's kind of a short show, us only having 2 topics this week, but I think that's about the extent of what I have to say about this, man. 2 great titles. What a great week of VR, man. I've had such a blast playing games this week.
I know. That's why it's hard to, these are the games I want to play. Either the AAA VR mods or the AAA VR games. Yeah, and then you can pepper in some indies.
So now we have the extremely difficult decision, which, by the way, it's difficult every week. But we have to decide whether or not we want to spend couple more days on this week's game, or do we want to go ahead and switch over to next week's game, which, by the way, it's not Wednesday, Roots. It's Friday now. So, like, tick, 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 clock's ticking on next Wednesday. By the way, I'm just going to kind of throw this out there. I'm kind of the mindset, Roots, that we skip Game of the Month this month because I want to keep going on these games, right? There's stuff I want to cover next week, stuff I want to play this week. And to be honest, I kind of feel like it's a no contest. I feel like we'd be spinning our wheels to do Game of the Month when we already know what the fucking Game of the Month is. Am I wrong?
No. Yeah, no. I mean, was there a PlayStation VR game that came out?
No.
Okay, so you have Quest and PC, and we know Red Matter's up there for the running, right? What else was there? I don't think there was. I mean, there was a lot of. There was stuff, but nothing on this level, right? Not.
Do you feel like? Do we need to play Nerf VR, Roots? That's the question.
I don't know. Who was it? Somebody just did it. Oh, Todd did a stream of Nerf VR. He would be the one to answer. I would imagine it's probably a cool game, but I don't think it's going to be better than Red Matter 2.
Well, here's the thing. Rather than spend my time playing Nerf VR this week, I want to do that Alvo update with the co-op zombie thing.
Oh, yeah.
That looks fucking cool, and people say it's great. So I think that's what we should be playing. If we're going to get in and make the stars align so that we can all play VR together, I think Alvo needs to be what we cover.
I agree, because people want to know. They want to say, they keep asking, Roots, why do you keep saying that Alvo's the best shooter in VR for me?
So why don't we do this? I'll leave it up to you guys. Let us know in the comments down below if you think that we should do a Game of the Month episode next Wednesday, and we'll just do Alvo and then we'll do Game of the Month, or we could just call it, say Rad Matter 2 is the Game of the Month, because it is. Let's be honest, it is. And then we'll just forget about Nerf. We'll play Alvo this week. We'll play Cyberpunk 2077 this week, and then we'll pick another classic game to talk about.
Yeah, that's definitely good thoughts. Gamertag says he made a video on Nerf, but Hasbro banned it, and that shocks me. And that doesn't shock me because we've had stuff like that where we're just trying to show a video of like a trailer they put out to promote. They're like, dude, you can't show that trailer on your show. Like, really? Like, do you want people to know your game exists or not? Like, what are you doing? That's weird. I don't know.
That's crazy too, because I mean, I think what he's saying is he got a copyright ban. Like, they made him take it down. Like, I get copyright strikes every Sunday. Like, because we do live trailers, every Sunday they demonetize our videos, which is fine. We don't make a lot of money from the ads anyway. When we do, we'll stop doing that. But yeah, man, I think Gamertag just called it for us. He said Hasbro banned his video. I think, well, fuck doing Nerf, right? We don't need to talk about that.
That's just crazy to me. I think things get out of control. Like, to the point where if I'm playing GTA 5 and the music on the radio in the game is on, it's okay if it's in the game, but if I'm streaming, it's now a problem. like I feel like it's really gone overboard when it comes to music, and I get it because there's a lot of theft, digital theft, but like it's just weird. I don't understand how YouTube works. Sometimes it just confuses me.
Traveling Man 3775 with the $5 donation says Red Matter 2 game of the month for sure.
He finished it. He's probably the only person I know that's actually finished the game.
Yeah, so I think we can see which way the tide's going. But again, if you like the game of the month episodes and want to see us spin our wheels on that, we'll be glad to do it. Just let us know in the comments down below. Anyway, yeah, I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight and hanging out with us. It is late as it always is. It's Friday night though, man. It's like it's party time. I feel like it's early, like we're just getting started.
Yeah, I was supposed to stream. Usually I stream Friday nights, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But it's actually ironic because usually on Wednesday nights I will be up late, and then on Thursday morning I get scheduled McDonald's, and for some reason I got McDonald's tomorrow morning. Like it's like it's Wednesday night, man. It's good to go.
Well, kind of weird, man, because today I ate McDonald's for like the first time in 6 months.
Did you? How was it? Was it good?
It hit the spot, man.
Yeah.
I ate it fast enough so that it was kind of tasted.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to eat it
All right.
fast and just pretend it's real.
Gamertag VR, Hasbro sponsored me for Nerf. It was banned because I mentioned the wall running movement was similar to Titanfall. I called Nerf darts bullets ammo, and I can't say guns holding a Nerf blaster. Oh
well,
my God.
This is the thing. I knew the whole Nerf thing, because there are people out there that they're just against guns, but they would be okay with a similar game if you're very adamant that this is just a Nerf gun, nobody's getting hurt, and so they really want to push that narrative, right? It needs to be across the board. Everybody knows this is not real bullets. This is not a gun. It's a Nerf.
Now, how ironic is it that the term Nerf already has meaning in the VR community. This is a derogatory term that we use probably once a week. Nerfing is something that happens when people take a perfectly good VR game and then kind of water it down for noobs. So how ironic, we have an actual VR game now called Nerf. I wonder if it's totally watered down and shitty.
Nah, I don't know. I guess it's got running on the wall that's like Titanfall. I can say these things because I'm not making a video. and it's Nerf bullets instead of ammo. And you can hold a gun, a Nerf gun.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So, I don't know. We laugh and we make fun of it, but it could be good. Guess we'll never know.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, Gamertag probably know. I'll have to watch this video. Oh, I can't. Never mind.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, you guys be sure to tune in to Q2C VR Gamer Live. They're going to be going on, I think, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So they'll have Eric with his Gamescom impressions, and then be sure to tune in to Virtual Strangers on Sunday. Eric will also be joining us for that, and we'll go a little bit deeper with him on the really cool stuff from Gamescom. So a good few days of content coming up. If you haven't already, click the red button, ring the bell so that you can be notified when we go live. Oh, GT's here, and it's not a secret anymore. I guess it was a secret last week that we're going to be starting the VR Crewcast up in September. GT, myself, Eric, Alex, Skiva, Beardo, Benjo, and sadly it's Bradley in a roundtable style VR podcast. It is going to be crazy.
That's just a crazy cast of fucking everybody, dude. Like, it's just crazy, man. You just listing name after name. If you don't want to see that, I question your soul. What's wrong with you?
Well, it's going to be interesting, man, because we have so many different personalities on here, and it's not just that our personalities are different, but I feel like our area of expertise in VR is different. So we got Brad, he's a hardcore like hardware and social VR guy. We've got Alex and Skiva, and they're kind of like the experts in the personalities of the people behind VR. they've done so many interviews and met so many people. And then we have people like GT, Eric, and myself, which really focus on the games. So it's going to be interesting not only to see the class of personalities, but have these different viewpoints and these different areas of expertise. I want to, commend GT on the idea. This is all him. He's the one making it happen. So kudos to you, brother.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Anyway, I think that's it. I'd like to thank you all once again for watching. And for Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.
Take it easy.